making the decision to encourage your parent to move into long-term care is really difficult. The emotional stuff, trying to influence their decision to actually go along with it, is a whole nother video on its own. Today we're going to talk about a framework that you can use for thinking about whether your parent needs to go into long-term care. And then at the end of the video, we're going to give some examples of actual questions to ask the long-term care facility. Before we get into it, I'm Tammy Provenzel. I'm a physical therapist and a life coach. Our healthcare system isn't set up with the resources or guidance for caregivers, so I started this channel to be a resource for caregivers who are caring for their elderly parents. We're going to discuss 3 things to think about in deciding on a long-term care facility. Those 3 things are your parents' health needs. The second one is your parents' level of independence. And the third one is your parents' social needs. Let's start with your parents' health needs. Think about whether your parents' needs involve a memory care unit if they have dementia, where there's a specialized environment and specialized staff training that goes with dealing with that population. Or if your parent has medical issues, like maybe they need wound care, they need consistent assessment and treatment of those wounds. The next thing to consider is your parents' level of independence. Are they able to walk on their own? Are they able to transfer? A lot of times I see people come into my work and I'm told that they were independent at home. And a lot of times it confuses me because one of the reasons they might be in our facility is that they've had multiple falls in the past month. I wouldn't call that independent because the lack of independence is leading to their falls. Think in terms of what's the safest level of independence that you think your parent is at. How much assistance do they need with dressing, bathing, eating, or preparing meals, and the mobility part, getting in and out of bed, standing, walking. The third thing to consider is your parents' social needs. Are they a social person? Do they like interacting with people? A lot of people, as they get older, shrink their world, and so because it might be too overwhelming in the outside world, they make their world very small, but that might not be who they truly are inside. And sometimes we can see who they really are inside if we think about who they used to be, how they used to behave. Did they used to be social? Have they always been somebody who likes to be alone? So we'll take that into consideration. If your parent was somebody who was very social, we want to check that the facility has opportunities for social interaction. Now we'll go over 3 questions you can ask the facility in each of these areas. So for the area of health needs, the first question you could ask, how have you dealt with other residents in the similar situation to my parent? If it's a dementia memory unit, how do they deal with the dementia symptoms that your parent specifically has? This will tell you some about the training that the staff hopefully has. The second question to ask about health needs is, how does the facility deal with changes that happen? How do they change their care plan over time? And this will give you information on how soon a facility reacts to things changing with their residents. So this will hopefully ensure that your parents' needs are met even as they're changing. The third question you could ask related to health needs is, what's the ratio of staff to residents? From my perspective, the staff to patient ratio is horrible. And if it sounds horrible when you get the answer, ask them, how do they deal with personalized care? How do they deal with that low staff to patient ratio? That might give you an idea of how well you think your parent will be cared for. 3 questions when it comes to your parent's level of independence could include, how do you as a facility promote a person's level of independence? Hopefully they'll say something like, we provide therapy if it's needed. We have a walk to dine program or an ambulation program where the staff walks with the person every day if they need that. This answer could help you in the future when your parent, you might be noticing your parent is declining, and you can ask, is she walking every day? Is she supposed to be on a walk to dine program? Has she been seen by therapy? The second question related to your parent's level of independence, can my parent personalize their daily schedule? And if they can, how do they let them do that? You're looking for answers like they have a choice in meals, they have a choice in the clothing they want to pick out, they have a choice in activities. We're looking for the person we're talking to from the facility to find it easy to talk about all the choices that your parent has. The third question related to your parent's level of independence in a facility is, what safety protocols do you guys have? And how does that work with different residents' level of independence? With this question, you're looking for a response that might be something like, they don't use restraints. The facility provides staff-assisted daily ambulation programs. They might offer to train family members so that they can walk with the resident. 3 questions to think about when it comes to the social needs of your parent are: 1, can you describe the types of social activities you have here? And ask them if they take any input from the residents themselves or the residents' families about potential activities to have. This can give you information about whether your parent specifically will like the activities, and also give you an idea whether staff is willing to listen to other ideas. The second question is, how do you promote a sense of community between the residents? The answers to this question will help you to understand whether they have a focus on community building, knowing that this is our parents' new home. And that can really impact your parents' quality of life. And the third question you could ask is, are there opportunities for my parent to do the things that they've always loved, the hobbies that they've always loved? And this gives you some insight on whether your parent's going to be able to continue a hobby that they love, which helps with their level of happiness and their general well-being. Hopefully this overview of 3 things to think about when you're considering a long-term care facility for your parent was helpful. If it was, please like and share and subscribe to this channel.